Hello everyone, welcome to Rainbow Infinity. Today I'll be reading Silent Whispers, another fine product. If you like the reading, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Please enjoy. A lesson in spelling errors. Applejack, look at what I got! Applebloom shouted as she bounced into the kitchen. You're gonna love this, it's so cool! I'm sure I will, said Applejack, grimacing over a mixing bowl. Just hold whatever it is up, all right? I've got about 3 pies left to make for this order, and I can't afford to slow down now. Applebloom nodded and held up the box. It's a spirit board, the sales pony said. You can make contact with the dead. Applejack's hooves continued to mix the batter, but only out of thoughtless habit. A look of confusion crossed her face, with no small trace of concern. A.B., that ain't something that can happen. You know that, right? Her voice dropped to a tone that was a bit gentler. The dead are a part of the land, and the land might speak to us, but not in words. Not like that. Of course I know they can't usually talk to us, but this board is special. It's got a new spell on it that'll interpret what they say into words. Here, watch. Applebloom pulled the board in pieces out of the box and set it up on the kitchen table, across from her sister. She squinted at the box instructions for a moment, before setting an object on the center of the board and placing both front hoof tips on it. Oh, I've seen one of those before. Applejack smiled with no small amount of relief as she moved to flatten out some of her pie crusts. That there's a toy, A.B. It ain't real. Applebloom scowled and closed her eyes. Is so. Watch. Oh, spirit board, if there's any opponent trying to contact us, tell us your name. A green spell lit up the planchette, and her hooves jerked towards the P, then the E, then the A, before pausing. Sis, I think it's Mom, Applebloom whispered excitedly. That ain't possible. It ain't, Applejack muttered, dropping her pie tin and watching as Applebloom's hooves shifted to the R. It's not funny, Applebloom. I'm not doing it, I swear, cried out Applebloom, as her hooves came to rest in the center of the board, and the glow around the planchette dissipated. It's all the board. Oh, spirit board, who do you, want to talk to? The glow started again, and her hoof jerked to the A, the P, then away and back to the P again, the L, and then the E. Both sisters held their breath, watching as Applebloom's hooves shifted towards the J. Ma? Said Applejack softly, as she watched Applebloom's hooves move towards the A, then the C, then slowly towards the K. Is that you? Are you really here? The glow around Applebloom's hooves didn't vanish, and slowly her hooves moved to the E and then the T before they came back to rest in the middle of the board. Et? What's et mean? Applebloom asked, looking up at her big sis. Or maybe it's part of your name? Apple Jacket? I don't know. The older mare frowned and turned away to pour some of the pie mixture into the crusts. Ask Mom what she wants to say to me, all right? Maybe it's part of a message. Spirit board, Mom, what's your message for Applejack? Applebloom's hooves and the planchette were aglow, and moving before she even finished speaking, barely stopping at one letter before moving on to the next. The room was quiet save for the sound of wood moving against wood, and the soft slurp of pies being filled. So, what'd it say? Applejack asked when she'd heard her little sister's hooves still, trying not to believe, unable to face it just in case it was real. What was Ma's message for me? It says, I love yogurt, Applejacket, big macaroni, and, a pie bloom. Just that. Applebloom sighed and moved her hooves away from the board, looking up at the other mare with confusion and a bit of hope. Did Mom like yogurt? I think, said Applejack tightly, putting the pies in the oven with a bit more force than necessary, that your board there almost works. I don't think Ma had any particular love for yogurt, nah. But think about it, A.B. It's getting words wrong, ain't it? Applebloom picked up the box the board came in and studied it. Well, yeah, I guess. But ain't it kind of nice? I mean, Mom might have meant that she loved us. Do you think the message got mixed up a bit? Applejack slammed the oven door shut and set the timer before trotting back over and pressing her own hooves against the planchette. Who am I, board? Are you really Ma? The glow blazed as her hooves moved from one letter to the next. Applebloom looked up from reading the box to watch. I am your moth, Pearlbutt. Wait, is that it? It's stopping there? She blinked, puzzled. That can't be right. It says on the back of the box here that it's supposed to give accurate and perfectly spelled messages from the dead. Mind if I take a look at that, sis? Applejack said softly, tilting the box so she could read it better. Odd that they emphasize spelling, ain't it? Let me see here. There's some fine print right down here. Says the makers of this product can guarantee the highest quality of message from the spirits, and to help with that, they've added a helpful spelling check filter to correct stuff. Huh, was all that Applebloom had to say as she stared uncomprehendingly at the board. Magic can do that? No wonder Sweetabelle does so well in her essays. Applejack gave a thoughtful hum as she turned the box back over to inspect the front again. Yeah, and it ain't too bad an idea, I suppose, but it's a bit overzealous, ain't it? I mean, it almost works, don't it? How much did you pay for this, anyway? My allowance for the month, mumbled Applebloom. Look, on the side it said it would work perfectly. It was an F&F Corporation guarantee. There's a little stamp in the corner there, see? She pointed a hoof tip at the silver stamp on the top corner of the box, sniffling. I thought, that it'd help us be able to talk to Mom and Dad again. That's all. I got so excited, I bought it without thinking. Applejack's eyes narrowed. F&F, you say, sis? How interesting. A.B., do me a favor and keep this for a little bit while you watch over the pies, all right? I got an errand I gotta run real fast. Keep it? Applebloom looked up, eyes still a bit watery. But it barely works at all. What'd it even be useful for? Might be helpful in court, Applejack said, snatching up her hat in her teeth and tossing it onto her head on her way out the door. 'Cause once I'm done with those scheming brothers, it'll be about the only way they can testify. Thank you for listening in. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Until next time, stay tuned.